the R-Series 64 NVR. That's right, your R-Series systems can now exceed 32 cameras. This NVR can record 4K video across 64 channels. You can have up to 8 hard drives installed in this machine, all the way up to 18 terabytes. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this NVR. I'm excited to see our R-Series be able to expand in ways that we've never been able to expand it before. There is so much more potential for our R-Series product line to become your go-to security camera brand. Oh, 64 NVR. This is the box that it comes in. I've cheated a little bit. I've already opened this and taken it out, but you can see the box is a pretty good size. We've got the recorder in here. We've also got a smaller box with accessories. We've got our quick start guide. We also have a little bag of screws, a ton of screws for the 8 hard drives, as well as for mounting this to a server rack. And here are the ears that we would use to mount this. We also have a USB mouse, and we've got the AC power cord. Oh, and here is the NVR. Whew, this thing's heavy. You can see it's pretty sleek on the front, pretty streamlined on the back. No integrated PoE switch or anything like that. Again, this is a 64-channel NVR. It's huge, much bigger than your classic R-Series NVR, which is definitely to be expected, considering this can house up to 8 hard drives. 8 hard drives up to 18 terabytes each. That's enterprise level. We don't even carry that. I think the highest hard drive we carry at this time is a 14 terabyte. If you want, you can buy 8 of those 14 terabyte hard drives, plop them in here, and what you can do with those hard drives, obviously you can record a lot of video across 64 cameras, but you can also use some of those hard drives as RAID hard drives so that you can protect your data, copy your data across various hard drives, back it up in case something goes bad with one hard drive. You still have your storage saved on one of those additional hard drives. The front looks very much like an R-Series NVR. It's blank, so of course we can brand this with your logo. The top is blank, so we can brand this with your premium branding, full color logo up there on top for an additional cost. We have our 2 indicator lights that we have across our NVR product line with R-Series, one for power, one for data, so that you can know at a glance if your NVR is functioning properly, if the hard drive is recording the way you expect. We also have a USB 2.0 port here, which is great for a mouse. We have more ports in the back that you can use for data because those do have the 3.0 standard. This is just a 2.0. So while you can stick a thumb drive in here for easy access, the USB ports in the back are going to be better suited for data transfer. That's pretty much all there is to see on the front. Let's flip this thing over and check out the back. Again, we have no PoE ports, so any security camera that you're going to be connecting to this NVR, you're going to have to set that up separately with an external, most likely an external PoE switch. So let's go through and see what kind of connections we have here. First, you'll see our audio in and out. We have an RS-232 port, which is just an RJ45 port. You can pretty much ignore that. That's just going to be used for diagnostics, upgrading firmware, that kind of thing, but you don't really need to have access to that. You can see we have 4 HDMI ports. So 3 of these, 1, 3, and 4, these outputs can go all the way up to 8K. Let me pull up my sheet here, which is 7680 by 4320. I don't know how useful that's going to be since our R-Series cameras only go up to 4K, but you do have that option here. Now, something to note, you can only have one 8K monitor at a time. So if output 1 is set to 8K for some reason, HDMI port 2 is going to be completely disabled. 3 and 4 are going to be limited to 1080p. So that's only if you want to go up to 8K. If you don't, if you want to leave this at 4K, then 1, 3, and 4 can all be 4K monitors. And port 2 is limited to 1080p no matter what. So 4K, 1080p, 4K, 4K, or 8K disabled 1080p, 1080p. Moving right along, we saw that we had one USB 2.0 port in the front. In the back, we have two USB 3.0 ports. So it is these are going to be better for your data transfer. You can also plug a mouse back here as well. But again, that front USB port is going to be better suited for a mouse since it is USB 2.0. We have two LAN connections here, LAN 1 and LAN 2. This is going to allow you basically to split up your cameras on different networks if you need to. You can connect LAN 1 into your router or into another switch to put the NVR on your network. And then you can have a separate PoE switch plugged into LAN 2, which you can use to support different cameras. We have other videos on our channel going over this technique. It's just a way for you to split up the bandwidth so not everything is taking over your network. For instance, you can have LAN 1 connected to your main network and maybe 32 cameras on that same network. And then you can have a separate network with a PoE switch connected to LAN 2 with 32 cameras there, allowing you to split your system in half. Completely up to you, whatever your situation calls for, but you do have that option for two LAN connections. We have our inputs and outputs, RS45. We've got 16 alarm inputs, and we also have 4 alarm outputs. So since this is R-Series, it works great with our R-Series alarm. You can add that in here. And finally, at the end, we've got our AC connector to plug this into power and our power switch. Let's open this thing up and check out the inside before we plug this in and get it all ready to go. And inside we have all of our SATA connections here ready to go. We have the power cords as well as the data connections. So you'll simply slide the hard drives into place over here, screw them in, connect everything, and you're good to go. Of course, if you purchase your hard drives from Nelly Security at the same time that you purchase this NVR, then we will install the hard drives for you. You can completely skip this step. I just wanted you to see what it looks like in here. Now, let me go grab a hard drive actually so we can plug it in and see it in action. Then we're going to get this thing connected to our network. All right, so I've pulled this out of the box, plugged it into this monitor, plugged it into power, and turned it on. I haven't done anything else. When I first turned it on, it did auto adjust the resolution to match my display, but that is all I've done. Actually, I haven't even connected this to the network yet, so 1 second. All right, it is now plugged into the network. My router is plugged into LAN 1 here on the NVR, so we'll have access to the network. Let's click around and see what we can see. This is actually my first time seeing the interface of this NVR, and you can see it's a little overwhelming, the number of windows here. If you right click, you can see down here at the bottom, we have all these different layouts to choose from. We can choose 20 cameras. That's going to make us log in. The default password here for an R-Series NVR is going to be admin789. Log in, click unlock. We shouldn't have to type that in again for a while. We can change the view here, 20, 25, 36, 42, 49, 56 are all 64 cameras. There are even more layout options here. There are tons of different ways you can configure this so it can be exactly the way you want it to be. We'll leave it on 64 for now, just so we can see the vast number of channels available to you on this new NVR. You can see right away we have this alert that the hard drive hasn't been formatted. So let's go ahead and do that. All you got to do is click on that little icon. It is going to bring up our hard drive here, tell us what kind it is, tell us the serial number, the model number, and it is unformatted. So I'm just going to click on it, click configuration. I'm going to go here, hit the check mark, format HDD. We have to type in our password one more time because, you know, we don't want just anybody to be able to format our hard drive. Authenticate. Let's format everything. Format the entire hard disk. Yes. So now it's formatting. Once it's formatted, it is going to be ready to start recording. And there we go. We get this warning message that we have one hard drive installed, and it's not recommended to record more than 32 cameras with that single hard drive. But we're not going to do that. We're just testing it out. So if you are going to use this to its full capabilities to have 64 cameras here, obviously you're going to want more than one hard drive, especially if you're going to be putting these into hard drive groups with that RAID functionality. Let's go back to our live screen. You can see we don't have any cameras, so let's actually add a couple of cameras here. So I am going to click down here to access our menu, click Setup, and we have our menu system here. We're going to go into Channels and start pulling in some cameras. So let's go ahead and search our network, see if we have any R-Series cameras already up and running. Right now we only have one. I'm not sure exactly which camera this is, but it looks like it is an OnViv camera, not an R-Series camera. So I'm going to go plug in this R-Series camera just so we have something to show. This is our wide angle actors deterrence R-Series camera that we just got. I'm going to plug this into the switch. Hopefully we'll see it show up here in our list of devices. Let's give it some time to boot up. Click search again. Might need to click this a couple times while it's booting up over there. All right, and we've got it, our M8B wide DT. It's now pulled in on this list. So I'm going to click the checkbox here, and we are going to add it to our channel list. This is the private protocol because it's from R-Series. Username, I believe the password is going to be 1234567A exclamation point. And we're going to add that. And beautiful. Here we go. It is pulling it into our channel list. This little icon has turned green, so we can click this to see exactly what we can see from the camera. There we go. We'll give ourselves something a little prettier to look at. So we can come back into our live view. We can see that that has pulled into our list of cameras. In fact, I'm going to change this to just a 4-camera layout so we can see it a little bit bigger. And we can see a couple of things. One, it's detecting motion, which is me. I'm moving around here. It's also recording because it's probably set to record 24/7 by default. So we can take a look at that in a little bit. Some other things we can do, we can start a manual recording. We can take a manual screenshot, instant playback to show us, the last few seconds. So we can see what's been happening in the immediate context of our cameras without jumping into the playback menu. What else we got here? We can switch the stream. So I'm going to put this back in HD for now. We can set off the siren. You can even adjust the volume right here from the screen. Turn it all the way up to 10. And let's go ahead and disable that. Enable, disable. Okay, that's fun. Anyway, we can also set off the warning lights. I don't know if you can kind of see the glare on the screen here. Let's see if we can. You guys see the lights going off back there? So yeah, they're still going off actually. So let's click it again, and we'll disable it. We can enable talkback. I don't have a microphone connected to this, but if I did, we could do two-way audio, and we can add a customized tag to this particular time. If we see something happening in this screen that we want to come back and review later, we can just tag it right away. It's pretty much everything that you're used to with an R-Series NVR. It's the same stripped back, sleek, user-friendly interface that you're used to with R-Series, just with more cameras. Let's jump into the menu, dig around a little bit, and see what we have. Jump into our setup, and we've got our channel group of settings, which is just going to let us edit our cameras so we can see our live view, change the date format, refresh rate. We can change the settings for how this appears on our live view. This doesn't actually affect the camera's image or the recording. It's just how we see it on our monitor. Image control, this is where you're actually going to go in and adjust the settings for the camera. This is not just the live view. This is going to adjust how the camera looks, how it records. PTZ, we don't have any PTZs connected to this right now. We can add video covers to different channels. Again, this is all standard stuff that you would typically see in an NVR. Let's jump into record. This is where we're going to adjust the way our camera is encoded. We can change the resolution, frame rate, encode type. So we can put this to H265 plus if you're wanting to save space. And here's where you're going to adjust the recording schedule. Right now, everything is set up on normal and motion. What this is going to do is record all the time, no matter what, but it's also going to record based on motion. The difference between regular motion, between regular recording and motion recording, it does look different. So having both of these set up at the same time can help you. When you're going back to review footage, it's going to be a lot easier for you. But you can also set this up to only record based on motion detection, to only record this based on manual in and out inputs. Most of the time, we just leave this as default, recording all the time, motion all the time. Adjust this however this fits your needs. We can adjust our alarm and notifications here. We can turn on a buzzer, a 10-second buzzer if a camera detects motion. Let's see what that sounds like. It's just going to beep like that for 10 seconds because the camera behind me is detecting motion. Let's turn that off because that is annoying. You can also, it's still going to go for 10 seconds until, okay, good, we're done. You can set this up to your alarm out. Again, we have 4 alarm out connections on the back of this NVR. So you can set up custom alarms for your channels. If you have that R-Series alarm plugged into this, then this is where you would turn that on. And then you would do this for each kind of input. If you have a PIR sensor, if you have input outputs. For video exception, if there's video loss, you can set up certain parameters for that. If there is an error with your hard drive, or if your hard drive runs out of space, you can configure exactly what you want to happen here. And you can set up your own unique alarm schedule, so you can have this functioning differently from your recording schedule if you need to. Voice prompts, I'm not sure what this is. I'm going to look into that though, because that looks really cool. From what I can tell, it looks like we can create our own voice prompts to use as alarms. Local conversation. Let's call this test. And we're going to type in testing. Let's import that voice prompt. File import succeeded. Okay. Hear me out. Voice prompt. Local. Test. Apply that. You hear anything? I don't. File play succeeded. I guess we would need to have some sort of audio device connected to this, but I'm pretty sure that camera does have audio out, so let's try doing it instead of local at the IP camera level. Did you guys hear that? Okay. So now, let's apply that. Do some motion. You guys, I don't know if this is a feature that's been around on R-Series NVRs for a while. This is the first time I've ever seen this. This means if you have an R-Series camera with a speaker on it, even if it's not an active deterrence camera, you can turn it into an active deterrence camera by uploading your own audio files to your NVR and assigning it as a voice prompt. I'm getting excited about this. I'm going to move on. I'm actually going to default this so I don't have to hear that over and over again. Voice prompts. I like it. Loop management. So I guess we can loop the sound if we need to. All right. I'm getting too far into the weeds. This is not supposed to be a deep dive into this, just a very brief overview. So I'm going to keep moving. You can set up your deterrence. You got your lights. The camera I have plugged in is an active deterrence camera. So this is where we can turn on warning light duration. Yeah, 60 is fine. We can set a schedule for it. We can say, yes, we want the warning light to flash. Light switch doesn't really do anything. So I guess one of these is for the white light. One of these is for the red and white lights. Check out our deterrence video if you want to learn more about that. We can adjust the siren here. Turn it up. Turn it on. And set a schedule for this alarm. So yeah, lots of different alarms we can adjust here. AI, this is starting to become a thing with R-Series more and more often, is our artificial intelligence features. It'll even show some statistics here. from the allow list, the block list, and the stranger list. If you had a camera that did facial detection, but also facial recognition, I don't believe any of our cameras do facial recognition, but we do person counting, person detection, vehicle detection, line crossing, and a heat map. So you can get nice, attractive looking reports for all of these artificial intelligent events. I wonder why it's not letting me set it up. Oh, because it's on face detection. Let's do people crossing. We'll set that up on channel 1. And there we go. This is going to be this small object. This is going to be the large object. So it's not going to detect any person smaller than this or larger than this. Adjust settings as needed. Nothing has changed. Looks like it was already set up. So now let's see human and vehicle search. So yeah, it's going to save images and videos of all the people and vehicles detected by your cameras. You're going to be able to search through it here. If you guys haven't checked out R-Series in a while, check it out because it has grown so much since our very first R-Series videos. And in fact, we could probably do a whole new video just on the artificial intelligence features now available in most of our R-Series cameras. So keep an eye out for that. Network settings. Is there a voice assistant? If you have this connected to, I guess, Amazon. Oh, you can set this up with your Amazon or Google voice assistant. That is not tested by us. If you want to try this out and you figure out something cool about connecting this to your voice assistant, please let us know. We'd love to hear about it. Email, DDNS, all the standard network settings that you're used to seeing. Of course, we've got storage. We've already formatted our hard drive here, and it's telling us please use more than one hard drive. We will. And we've got your typical system settings, which is going to be where you upgrade your firmware, do general maintenance. We can change the device name here if you need to, adjust date and time, all of that good stuff. So that, in a very basic nutshell, is the 64-channel NVR from R-Series. If there is anything I missed in this video that you would like to see, please leave that in the comments below, because we definitely want to do some follow-ups with this. We really want to showcase our R-Series product line more now that it's starting to grow, it's starting to get more powerful, and yet it's still maintaining the beautiful, user-friendly, and cost-effective profile that you have come to know and love from R-Series. The 64 NVR from R-Series. Again, I am super excited about this product, and I hope after watching this video, you are too. If you'd like to check this product out for yourself, be sure to check the links down in the description below. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us. Our experts are always happy to help you out. Happy installing, and we will catch you in the next video.